Hey guys, Baller Boy here. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Today, I'm going to be displaying you my picks for the All-Star game this year. This is phase 1, and it's pretty early in the season, but I just want to show you my picks so far. Alright, let's hop right in. Getting us started, we'll go to the American League first base section. And there's really no other choice but Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's a lock already. He's batting .366 with 19 home runs, 50 RBIs, and a 1.06 OPS. I'll put his stats up on the screen right now, but as you can see, he's leading the league in OPS plus, average, home runs, RBIs, and basically every key batting stat. He's the obvious choice for the American League first base position. For first baseman in the National League, I have to go with Max Muncy. He has 14 home runs and 33 RBIs. Those numbers are only approached by Freddie Freeman and Rhys Hoskins. But Max Muncy's OPS is almost 200 points higher than both of those men. He walks a lot and doesn't hit for a crazy high average, but still pretty decent. Max Muncy is what you want to see in a first baseman, as he is also a pretty good defensive player as well. So, as you can see, it must be Max Muncy. Moving on to the second base position in the American League, and I'm going to go with Marcus Semien. I'll put his stats up on screen again right now, but he's averaging .293 with 13 home runs, 33 RBIs, and 874 OPS. He's leading second baseman in home runs, RBIs, and OPS, which is very impressive. So he'll become the second baseman in the American League for the All-Star game. Jose Altuve is a close second, however. Moving on to the second base position in the National League, and for me, it's really between Adam Frazier, Jean Segura, and Ryan McMahon. And I'm going to have to go with Ryan McMahon in this one. I'll put his stats up on screen right now, but he has a 2.2 WAR, which is higher than Adam Frazier, my second place, and he has seven times the amount of home runs, and his OPS. And while his batting average is definitely lower, I feel like the WAR can really show you his value to his team more than Adam Frazier. They're both on last place teams, but I'm going to have to go with the younger player on this one. Moving on to the shortstop position in the American League, and it's really between Xander Bogaerts and Carlos Correa, and also maybe Bo Bichette. I quickly landed on Xander Bogaerts. And you might look at this and be like, Arav, you're overlooking Alberto Mondesi. He has a 1,000 OPS and a 360 average. Well, that's because he played in so few games that his batting average doesn't even lead the league because he hasn't qualified for it yet. So, Bogaerts is averaging .324 with 11 homers and 38 RBIs, and second in OPS behind Mondesi among shortstops. So, I truly believe that Xander Bogaerts is the all-star shortstop of the American League, even though I hate the Red Sox so much. For the shortstop, there is no other choice besides Fernando Tatis Jr. And it offered us this list. I'm not a Giants fan, but I really love what they're doing this season. I love their older players going absolutely nuts, and I love Mike Yastrzemski, and I just love their organization as a whole. And I also love Trey Turner, who's a very underrated player. He is a speed demon. He is really good on the field. He's fast. He has high average, high OPS, but that's besides the point. Right now, we're talking about Fernando Tatis Jr., the best shortstop in the American League, the National League, and quite possibly one of the best players in the world right now. Fernando Tatis. But he's bonkers. Almost 1,000 OPS, 39 RBIs, 17 home runs, and a 276 average. Just absolutely dominant at the plate, in the field. The Padres are super exciting. He's the face, what should be the face, of Major League Baseball right now. He's just so exciting to watch, so fun to watch. I'm a Fernando Tatis Jr. enthusiast. I have his rookie card, actually. Thank goodness for that. So, Fernando Tatis, starting shortstop for the All-Star game in the National League. When it comes to third baseman in the American League, this is pretty tough. It's between Jose Ramirez, Rafael Devers, and Alex Bregman. No one else really comes close to their level. So I think right now I'm going to write off Alex Bregman. He doesn't have enough home runs. His OPS is significantly lower than the two. And while his average is higher, his stats across the board just aren't as good. Upon further review, I'm going to land on Rafael Devers. I get it. Jose Ramirez's OPS is 27 up points higher than Rafael Devers. But Devers has one more home run and 12 more RBIs. And his batting average is only 8 points lower. So I'm going to give it to Rafael Devers, even though he's not great in the field. But watching him at the plate is just watching a master at work. He's just really that good. So Rafael Devers is the All-Star third baseman in the American League. For third baseman in the National League, I'm going to go with Chris Bryant. J.D. Davis' stats look really good right now, but once again, he didn't play enough games to even qualify for the batting title or OPS or anything like that. Evan Longoria has been really good, but Bryant, this season, has just been on another level. I want to also give honorable mentions to Austin Riley and Justin Turner, as well as Nolan Arenado for their stellar play. But once again, Chris Bryant is just that good. He's averaging .301 with batting average, with 13 home runs, 38 RBIs, and a .942 OPS. Just look at his stats on screen right now. They're so good. With that in mind, he's back to his MVP caliber season, and he's going to be the third baseman in the National League representing in the All-Star game. For catcher in the American League, it's really between Mitch Garver, Yasmani Grandal, and Salvador Perez. And you might say to me, Arav, Yasmani Grandal is batting 160. How is he even in this conversation? Well, it's because all he ever does is walk and hit home runs. That's all he does. He bats 160 because he doesn't get a hit, but just look at his OPS. It's really good. But he's not going to get the catcher spot in the All-Star game. That's going to be Salvador Perez. Salvi is back to his old form. He's batting .285 with 16 homers, 42 RBIs, and 845 OPS. I really like Salvador Perez. He's also really good defensively. And his batting average, home runs, RBIs, and OPS are far and away the best in the American League among catchers. For catcher in the National League, I'm going to go with Buster Posey. No questions asked. He's just so good this year. He's the reason why I love the Giants so much this year. He epitomizes their team. The worn-out veteran who just somehow flipped a switch this year. He's batting .340 with an OPS above 1,000, 11 home runs, 23 RBIs. He is heads and shoulders above the person in second place, Omar Narvaez, who's having a pretty good season for himself. And JT Realmuto, again, a decent year, but nothing in comparison to Buster Posey. He is without a doubt, no questions in my mind, the National League catcher for the All-Star game. Outfield in the American League, an extremely stacked position. We have players like Byron Buxton, Mike Trout, Aaron Judge, George Springer, Michael Brantley, and Adolis Garcia. Well, right off the bat, I can check off Aaron Judge. He's batting .291 with 15 home runs, 35 RBIs, and a .932 OPS. He's quietly putting up MVP-type numbers this year. Next up, I'm going to go with Adolis Garcia. A surprise pick here, but he has batting .271 with 16 homers, 44 RBIs, and 837 OPS. Just really good this year. And last, but certainly not least, give me Byron Buxton. Now, Buxton's missed a solid chunk of time this year. But just looking at his stats, you really can't deny how good he is. He's batting .370 with 9 homers, 17 RBIs, and a 1.180 OPS. I would put Mike Trout in his place, but Buxton's stats are better, and they've both missed time this year. So I'm going to give it to Byron Buxton, Aaron Judge, and Adolis Garcia to round out our American League starting outfield in the All-Star game. Our last spot for the National League is outfield. And right off the bat, I'm checking out Nick Castellanos and Jesse Winker. The Reds' offense has really surprised me this season, but Nick Castellanos has not. I always knew that he was this good. He's batting .362 with 13 homers, 35 RBIs, and an OPS well above 1,000. He's really good. Who did surprise me this season? Jesse Winker, who's batted .344 with 17 homers, 38 RBIs, and a 1.05 OPS. That is so good. And to round out the outfield, this is going to be a tough decision, but give me Ronald Acuna Jr. Ronald is batting .282 with 18 homers, 39 RBIs, and a 1.001 OPS. That's really stellar numbers for a really stellar player. This doesn't even include his stolen base numbers, which are very good as well. Acuna's an all-around player, and the National League outfield is stacked. And last, but certainly not least, you have the designated hitter in the American League. And honestly, there are a few players that could win this award. You have Shohei Ohtani, who is just so good. JD Martinez, who's almost as good. And you have Nelson Cruz, Yordan Alvarez, Giancarlo Stanton, and all these great players, but none of them compare to Shohei Ohtani. It's quite clear. Shohei is batting .267 with 17 home runs, 45 RBIs, and leads designated hitters in OPS. He also leads them in RBIs and home runs, the triple crown for him. Now, his batting average might not be as high, but his on-base percentage is very stellar. And add on to the fact that he pitches, and Shohei Ohtani is a clear-cut designated hitter in the American League.
They do have a time.